What up, guys? Captain Spencer Clark here with Breaking Bass Guide Service down Table Rock Lake. Want to hop on here, guys, and talk about all the rainfall that we've been getting the last 2 days down here at Table Rock. The water's going to be coming up. Hopefully, the water's going to come up enough to get into the bushes, because whenever that water gets into the bushes down here at Table Rock, usually it's some pretty good fishing. Really like when the fish get shallow down here at Table Rock. But I want to talk about some of the different baits that I really like to use when we get water on the rise. My number one bait, guys, is a spinner bait. Anytime you get a lot of water coming into the lake, a real good pattern is to fish all the little mini waterfalls. A lot of times, guys, you get out on one of these Ozark lakes and there's a lot of rain. You'll actually be able to find that runoff or that run in where the water is coming in, like say in the back of a pocket, or where a little feeder creek is feeding in a cove. All those little places are bass magnets just because of all the nutrients and the oxygen that brings into the water. But I really like to throw spinnerbait, guys, in those areas. Caught a lot of good fish over the years chasing waterfalls with a spinnerbait. So that's one of my favorite things to do. The other thing I've had a lot of success on is flipping a beaver bait. So Bait Cave Customs, they make a great beaver style bait. This is called the brush beater. These work really good flipping these on just a light Texas rig. So what I'm going to do is put, like a 1/4 ounce weight, maybe a 5/16, an eighth, something really light to where I'm just going to get that bait down, but it's going to have a slow fall. A lot of times the fish really like that kind of presentation. If that's not working, you might actually go to a real heavyweight. I've seen it before where, water gets way back into some of these bushes. And you can put a 1 ounce, tungsten weight on a beaver like this, or this cave cricket, flip it up in those bushes, and really get that bait down at the base of the roots of that bush down there to get a bite. But these little creature baits really come through that kind of cover well, and the fish really like them when the water's coming up. So that's kind of like my 1-2 punch, throwing a spinnerbait and then flipping a little beaver like this. If the water is up and you're talking a little bit later in the spawn, like closer to where more fish are in the post-spawn phase or up spawning, another thing you guys can do is cover water with a buzzbait. So a buzzbait can work really good around the spawn time of the year. It does a couple things for you if you're a shallow water fisherman. It might actually show you where the bass are at. So sometimes you'll throw a buzzbait, fishing in a pocket or going on the bank, and one will come up and roll on a buzzbait. And then sometimes you can go back, if you don't catch them on the buzzbait, throw a little beaver in there and get that fish to bite that missed that buzzbait. But anyways, guys, one of my favorite buzzbaits is the Giant Slayer buzzbait. This is a big bass catching machine. It's got a 7/0 hook in it. And if I had to pick one color combination, it would be this, like a black toad with a gold blade. This works really good in the springtime, guys. Got the Big Bass Bash coming up at Lake of the Ozarks. Anytime that water temperature gets into the mid to upper 50s, you can take a buzzbait. Great way to catch a big kicker fish, even up at Lake of the Ozarks. It's been my experience, fishing a buzzbait in the springtime. That water, as long as you've got water temperature that's been sustained, close to that 60-degree mark, there's a good chance you can catch a couple fish on a buzzbait. But this is just a fun way to catch a lot of bass the next month here, throwing a buzzbait. Check out the Giant Slayer buzzbait along with that 7/0 hook. This wire is actually fused inside the head to the hook. If you guys catch a bunch of really big bass, sometimes the wire will get a little loose and separate from the head, which that's pretty typical with a lot of buzz baits. But you never have to worry with this buzz bait about that hook ever coming away from the wire, because it's all connected into one piece in these Giant Slayers, which gives you the confidence to throw it for big bass, even though they've been crushing it and beating it up a lot. But anyways, guys, that's some of the different baits that I really like to use when the water's starting to come up in the spring. Maybe try throwing some of these baits, and hopefully you'll catch a few more fish with all these high water conditions we're going to have coming up here.